The Gospel of Matthew tells how Jesus was miraculously born from the Virgin Mary. In Matthew 1:23, he quotes a prophecy from the Old Testament, Isaiah 7:14, which says, "Behold, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall call his name Emmanuel," which means God with us. But people often point out that the Hebrew word translated virgin in Isaiah 7:14 actually means young woman. So, did Matthew get it wrong? The Hebrew word behind virgin in Isaiah 7:14 is alma. Now, it's true that our best lexicons for this word do not mention a virgin as a proper definition. Halot says that alma is a marriageable girl, a girl who is able to be married, or a young woman. Such definitions would imply virginity in that culture, but it doesn't mean virgin. BDB also says young woman with connotations being sexually ripe. DBL Hebrew says that alma means a sexually mature female of marriageable age who may or may not be sexually active. So that lexicon is a little more open with alma. It points out that context will demand or suggest if the young woman is sexually active. And that's a key, isn't it? What makes most sense in Isaiah 7:14? A young woman who is a virgin or a young woman who isn't? If this young woman giving birth is to be a sign from God, then I'm inclined to think that a sexually active woman giving birth to a son is really not all that impressive for a sign. A virgin giving birth, however, sounds more like a sign from God. There's another reason we might sensibly go for virgin here. Several hundred years before Christ, a bunch of Jewish scholars got together and translated their Hebrew text into Greek. This translation is called the Septuagint. Now, if you turn to Isaiah 7:14 in the Septuagint, they translated alma into the Greek parthenos, which explicitly means virgin. So these Jewish scholars thought that this prophecy of Isaiah 7:14 was about a virgin birth. And again, this was before Christ. Now, if Isaiah really wanted to stress a virgin, why wouldn't he use the word Betulah, which explicitly means virgin like parthenos in Greek? John Oswalt in Nikot suggests it has to do with the dual purpose of this prophecy. On the one hand, Isaiah was writing down his prophecies to be an encouragement for God's people. On the other hand, this prophecy in particular was originally uttered to King Ahaz, who lived in Isaiah's day. Ahaz needed a sign in his present moment of distress, which would be the birth of a son through the young woman, whoever that is. And so by using alma, the prophecy was able to carry significance for Ahaz, who wasn't expecting a virgin birth, but just a birth by some young woman he apparently knew about. But the word alma also leaned enough into the idea of a virgin that it could still be spectacular enough as a future sign for the rest of God's people. With this dual purpose, alma is quite fitting of a word choice. So, Matthew 1:23 picks up on the longing of Israel for a child born of a virgin called Emmanuel, God with us. He's saying, look, it's happening. Isaiah 7:14 really does mean virgin, because this man Jesus was born of the Virgin Mary, and he is Emmanuel, God with us. True to Isaiah's prophecy, the Christian church has been calling him that ever since. Now, you might be looking at all this and say, time out. That's just your interpretation. If I may, the way we often push all sorts of stuff back into others' own interpretation is problematic for healthy communication, but I can't get into that now. Rather, that will be the subject of next week. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.